Evening, sir. Do you know why I pulled you over tonight?
No, officer, I don't.
Is this your current address listed here?
Yes, officer, it is. May I ask why I was pulled over?
Streetlights flickered against the windshield as Malik Ward eased his rented SUV through the quiet suburban neighborhood, the engine humming low. He'd just left a late-night charity gala, bow tie undone, Tuck's jacket slung over the passenger seat. His shoulders finally loosened. No cameras, no flashing smiles. Just air. Then the patrol car slid in behind him. Malik stiffened. The siren chirped once, sharp, purposeful. His fingers tightened around the steering wheel. He hadn't been speeding. He hadn't missed a sign. He knew that much. The cruiser's high beams flooded the interior, bleaching his hands pale. A knot formed in his throat, old and familiar, the kind that belonged to years before the fame, before the magazine covers, before the world pretended to love him. Boots scraped the pavement. Flashlight beam stabbed through the window. "Driver!" the officer barked. "Hands where I can see them." Malik lifted them slowly. His breath fogged the glass. The officer leaned in. Officer Brent Halston, jaw clenched, tone already loaded with judgment. Malik saw it in the man's eyes. The presumption, the ownership, the certainty of power. "What are you doing in this neighborhood?" Halston demanded. Malik swallowed. "Driving home." Halston smirked, tapping the flashlight against the glass. "That's funny," he said. "Because you don't look like you belong here." The words sliced clean through him. A second flashlight beam appeared behind Malik's car. Two officers now. Malik's pulse thundered. And then, Halston's hand drifted toward his holster. The street went silent. Hands higher. Malik's arms were already trembling, fingers stretched into the cold air. The SUV's door frame pressed into his ribs as he leaned out, streetlight flooding one side of his face while the patrol car's headlights washed out the other. "They're up," he said. "You can see them. I'm cooperating." Officer Halston's voice came back sharp. "Higher." Malik lifted them until his shoulders burned. His tux shirt pulled against his back, cufflinks glinting like tiny warnings. He kept his voice steady. "Officer, can you tell me why I was stopped?" Shadow moved. The second officer, Reyes, hovered near the rear bumper, hand on his holster, gaze darting between Malik's hands and face. Halston swung the flashlight up, cutting across Malik's cheek. "Step out of the vehicle." Slowly. Malik's heart thudded fast and tight. "My seatbelt, I need to unbuckle it." "2 fingers," Halston ordered. "Slow." "All right." The belt clicked. Malik stepped out, shoes hitting pavement. The night smelled of wet asphalt and freshly cut grass. Somewhere a dog started barking, then fell silent. Halston eyed the tux. "Big night." "A gala," Malik said. "Charity event." "What kind of event puts you driving around here?" Halston asked. "You live in this neighborhood?" "Yes." Halston smirked. "Ooh. Live here." "I'm renting," Malik said. "Willow Grove." A low chuckle. "That right," Reyes murmured. "Brent." Halston cut him off with a glare. "Watch the street." Malik took a breath. "My wallet's in my inside pocket. I have ID." "Not reaching into anything," Halston said. "Turn around." Malik turned, palms on the warm hood. The radio on Halston's belt crackled at his shoulder. "This your SUV?" Halston asked. "It's a rental. Under my name. $100,000 vehicle, middle of the night. Tux, rental." Halston scoffed. "Sounds suspicious." "It sounds like I work late," Malik said. Halston stepped closer. "It sounds like you're lying." Malik shut his eyes briefly. Cameras once cared about his every expression. Here, none of it mattered. "I'm telling the truth." His shifted. "We could run the plates." "I'll run them when I want," Halston snapped. "You got warrants?" "No." "Drugs?" "Weapons?" "No." "So why you shaking?" "Because you drew your gun," Malik said. Because I'm here like this for no reason. We'll see about that. Car slowed nearby. Malik heard the hesitation in the engine before it sped away. Reyes murmured. Porch light across the street just came on. Good, Halston said. Audience. Malik's jaw tightened. You're enjoying this. Enjoying keeping the neighborhood safe. I gave you my address, Malik said. My explanation. Why are we still here? Because I said so. The words hit Malik like a shove. Then a soft voice from across the street. Sir? You okay? Malik tried turning his head, but Halston's hand pressed between his shoulders. Face forward. Ma'am, step inside, Halston barked. Lawful, stop. I'm filming, she replied. Halston's grip tightened. Malik felt a tremor. Not fear this time, but the awareness that his life might end up as a headline. You happy now? Halston muttered. You people always need a show. You people. Malik echoed. Don't act innocent. Malik stared at the patrol lights reflected on the hood. Check my ID. Just check it. After a tense second, Halston yanked open Malik's jacket and pulled out the wallet. Malik flinched. Relax, Halston said. If you had nothing to hide. You aimed a weapon at me, Malik said. Anyone would be jumpy. Halston opened the wallet and froze. Malik. Ward. Reyes looked up. Wait. The actor. Halston's stare snapped from the ID to Malik. That you? Yes. Reyes stepped closer. I've seen your. Halston silenced him with a glare. Big star, huh? I'm a person, Malik said. Same as anyone. Not really, Halston said. Some people pretend for a living. Some enforce the law. Malik almost laughed. Is that what this is? Halston ignored him. Nice car. Nice suit. Probably think all that puts you above a stop. This is exactly why I don't think that. Reyes shifted again. Brent, we should just clear him. Shut it, Halston barked. I decide when we're done. Malik straightened a little. What did you see me do? I saw a vehicle circling a high-income neighborhood, Halston said. Slow. Suspicious. I missed a turn, Malik said. GPS rerouted. Sure. It's the truth. Everything about you tonight looks like a cover. Malik turned his head slightly. A cover for what? Halston stepped in front of him, lifting the ID like evidence. For being somewhere you don't belong. Malik felt the words sink into him, cold and certain. Across the street, the woman's phone kept recording, unblinking. Are we done? Malik asked quietly. You know who I am. You know I'm not a threat. Halston stared at him, really stared. Malik saw the calculus in the man's eyes. Fame, consequences, headlines, lawsuits. You think that phone scares me? Halston asked. I think it should. Reyes held his breath. The street went still. Halston's jaw twitched. Then his free hand drifted down, hovering just above the gun on his hip. Malik's heartbeat pounded so hard it hurt. The woman recording whispered, barely audible. Oh my God! Halston's fingers brushed the holster's snap. Reyes stepped forward. Brent! Halston didn't move. Malik swallowed. Don't! But Halston's hand kept lowering, inch by deliberate inch, toward the weapon that could end everything. Malik sat on the edge of his couch, elbows on his knees, hands clasped so tightly his knuckles ached. His phone vibrated non-stop on the coffee table. Notifications stacked like falling dominoes. Mentions, tags, messages, missed calls. He didn't touch it. He kept replaying Halston's hand drifting toward the gun. That slow, chilling intention. The kind that didn't need words to explain itself. The city outside barely stirred. Dawn hadn't even thought about rising yet. But the world online was fully awake. His phone buzzed again. Then again. Denise calling. He finally picked up. Malik, she said, no greeting, breath sharp with panic. It's everywhere. I know. Have you watched the clip? No. You need to. I can't, he said quietly. Denise softened. It's bad. Really bad. And there's commentary, speculation, hashtags already forming. You're trending globally. Your fanbase is defending you, but there's pushback too. People calling it staged, people saying you were aggressive. Malik let out a humorless exhale. I didn't say 3 sentences. I know. You know. But you know how this works. Silence becomes narrative. He rubbed his forehead. I didn't want any of this. I understand. But you were almost. She stopped. Then rephrased. You were put in danger. And it's on camera. You have to decide how you want to respond before the department spins it. Of course they will, Malik muttered. He's probably already crafting a story. Denise hesitated then. Malik, the woman who filmed it went live. She's terrified for you. She said she thought he was going to shoot. Malik closed his eyes. She wasn't wrong. Silence. Heavy. Do you want me to come over? She asked. No, he said. Just tell me what I'm waking up to. There was brief typing on her end. The video has 3 million views. Already. It's been 40 minutes. He stood, pacing toward the window. Streetlights glowed amber across the quiet cul-de-sac. He saw his own reflection, tired, shoulders tense, a man who looked like he'd aged a year in one night. People are demanding the officer's name, badge number, disciplinary record, Denise continued. Various groups want statements. News outlets want interviews. Your film studio sent an email asking if you're okay. Malik let out a long breath. Right. Malik, Denise said, lowering her voice. Do not go outside. Reporters are likely to show up by morning. I just want to breathe. And I want you alive, she replied. Stay inside. He appreciated the bluntness, even if it made his chest tighten. Have you heard from the police department? He asked. No, but... A notification pinged on her end. Scratch that. They just posted a statement. What does it say? Let me read it. She cleared her throat. We are aware of a video circulating online involving one of our officers. We are reviewing the incident. At this time, no misconduct has been determined. Malik laughed, sharp and disbelieving. No misconduct. He nearly drew his gun on me because of a rental car. They're trying to buy time, Denise said. And they're trying to frame this as routine. For who? Malik asked. Who is this routine for? Denise didn't answer. She didn't need to. His phone dinged, an email. Then another. A new call flashed on the screen. Unknown number, Malik said. Denise exhaled. Don't answer. It might be. No. Let it go to voicemail. He hesitated, but the call ended before he could decide. Then another came. Different number. Then a third. Persistent, Malik muttered. That's not a good sign. A moment later his voicemail pinged. He played it on speaker. Mr. Ward, this is Chief Langford of the Ridgeview Police Department. Please contact me at your earliest convenience. We'd like to meet with you today. There are matters we need to clarify. Denise muttered a curse. They're doing damage control. You think they're trying to intimidate me. I think they're trying to contain you. He felt his jaw clench. I did nothing wrong. I know, she said. But institutions don't care about that. They care about liability. He looked at the blank TV screen. His reflection warped by the dark glass. What do we do, Denise? You need to decide whether you want to meet them. And if I don't, they'll say you're refusing cooperation. And if I do, they'll try to script your words. He pressed his palm against his chest, trying to slow the rhythm of his pulse. I just wanted to go home. I know, she said gently. I'm so sorry. A few seconds passed. Then Malik said, should I release a statement? Not yet. Not until we know what their angle is. Everything has an angle, Malik murmured. Denise didn't argue. His phone vibrated again, this time a text. From an unknown number, please call back. The chief would like to speak with you directly. Malik stared at it. They're not going to leave me alone, are they? He asked. No, Denise said. They won't. Then we meet, Malik decided quietly. Not because they asked. Because I need to look them in the eye. She inhaled, steady and supportive. All right. I'll draft your talking points. And Malik. Yeah. Don't go alone. Malik looked out the window again. Somewhere down the street, a front door opened and closed, a neighbor unaware of the storm forming around him. I won't, he said. But as he ended the call, he wasn't sure who could truly stand beside him in the room he was about to walk into. The Ridgeview Police Administration building looked nothing like Malik expected. Glass facade, polished stone pillars, flower beds trimmed with impossible precision. Everything curated, clean, curated for public trust. Too clean. He stepped out of Denise's car, pulling his jacket closed. Denise walked beside him, phone in hand, already preparing notes. You good? She asked. No, Malik said. But I'm here. Inside, the lobby was bright with fluorescent light. A receptionist lifted her head, eyes widening slightly. Mr. Ward, she said. They're expecting you. Course they were. 2 officers escorted them down a quiet hallway. No one spoke. Doors lined the walls, investigations, records, training. The end. Internal affairs. Reyes stood outside the door. Malik's steps slowed. Him. Reyes looked startled to see him. I didn't know you'd be here this early. Is Halston? Malik asked. Reyes swallowed. He's in a separate room. Of course he is, Denise muttered. Reyes opened the door. They'll explain everything. The conference room felt like a staged apology. A long table, water pitchers, legal pads, carefully arranged chairs. Chief Langford sat at the head. Gray hair, crisp uniform, a smile that tried too hard. Mr. Ward, the chief said warmly, standing hand extended. Thank you for coming. Malik didn't shake it. You asked. Fair enough, Langford said, lowering his hand. Please sit. Ms. Rivers, good to see you again. Denise sat beside Malik, eyes locked on the chief. Let's begin. A woman in a navy blazer introduced herself. I'm Captain Ellis, Internal Affairs. We're here to discuss the incident from last night. Denise cut in. Incident. Let's call it what it was. The woman's jaw tightened slightly. We want to understand what happened. You could start by watching the video, Malik said. We have, Chief Langford replied. Multiple times. And? Malik asked. The chief clasped his hands. Officer Halston reports that he perceived suspicious behavior. He believed the vehicle might be connected to a recent burglary series. Malik stared. Suspicious because... Langford didn't blink. We're still gathering context. Malik laughed under his breath. Context is what police create when they want to excuse something. Denise placed a hand on his arm, grounding him, but she didn't tell him to stop. Captain Ellis slid a form across the table. We'd like your official statement. Your words in your own language. It will assist our review. So you can compare it to whatever story Halston invents. Malik asked. Ellis' expression stayed professional, but rigid. So we can complete the investigation thoroughly. You didn't care about thoroughness when he nearly drew a weapon on me, Malik said. Langford leaned forward. Mr. Ward, please understand, we take this seriously. No, Malik said. You take the public reaction seriously. There's a difference. Quiet beat. Denise observed all of it. Body language, hesitation, institutional choreography. Chief, she said, before my client speaks, we want clarity. What exactly is Halston claiming? Langford sighed. His initial report states that Mr. Ward appeared nervous, refused instructions, and reached inside the vehicle. Malik sat forward, incredulous. Reached. I had to unbuckle my seatbelt. Said that. I did it slowly. Ellis replied. We need your version as well so we can compare. You mean so you can frame it, Malik said. Langford exhaled. Look, Mr. Ward. This is delicate. Tensions are high. If we can all remain reasonable. Reasonable, Malik echoed. I was threatened on a sidewalk. That is not confirmed. Malik's voice dropped. If he'd unlatched that holster one more inch, we wouldn't be in this room. The air went still. Reyes, standing by the door, stared at the ground. You were there, Malik said to him suddenly. Reyes stiffened. Sir, Tell me, Malik said, eyes fixed on him. Did you think he was about to shoot? Reyes' mouth opened, closed. His jaw shook. I can't comment. Langford cut in sharply. Officer Reyes is not authorized to discuss ongoing matters. Convenient, Malik muttered. Denise leaned forward. Chief, if your goal is transparency, you're failing. Langford's jaw tightened. Our goal is fairness. To whom? She pressed. He didn't answer. Ellis gently pushed the form closer. Mr. Ward, we cannot move forward without your statement. Malik looked at the paper. Blank lines. Empty spaces that would be dissected, twisted, politicized. May I speak freely? He asked without picking it up. Langford hesitated. Of course. Malik turned his gaze to Ellis, then to Reyes, then back to the chief. What happened to me is not new, he said. It didn't start last night, and it won't end after this meeting. I know how this works. I know how stories get massaged until they're comfortable for everyone except the person who lived them. Langford opened his mouth, but Malik continued. I was coming home from a charity event. I missed a turn. That is all. Halston saw me, made assumptions, and escalated because he wanted to. Not because he had cause. You know that. We all know that. Reyes's eyes flickered, guilt tightening his features. Malik pressed on. Your department statement says no misconduct has been determined. But you saw the video. You saw his hand. You know what could have happened. Langford looked genuinely uneasy now. Mr. Ward. No, Malik said. Let me finish. Denise gave the slightest approving nod. I'm not here for damage control. I'm not here to help your department look better. I'm here because I almost died on a sidewalk for existing in the wrong place at the wrong time. And if you want my statement, you're going to treat it like a life, not like a PR inconvenience. Silence swallowed the room. Ellis finally spoke, voice quieter. We'll take your statement verbally. If that's easier. Malik nodded once. Fine. Langford gestured to the recorder. Ready when you are. Malik inhaled slowly, steadying his voice. Let's begin, he said. By afternoon, Malik's name dominated every trending list. News panels, podcasts, live streams. Everyone dissected the video frame by frame. Some commentators defended him. Others twisted details, searching for any justification to protect Halston. Malik watched none of it. He sat with Denise in her office, blinds half drawn, watching sunlight carve sharp angles across her desk. Her computer screen glowed with dozens of tabs, articles, statements, timestamps. They're digging, Denise said, scrolling. Journalists, activists, everyone. Digging for what? Malik asked tiredly. For context, she replied. For patterns. And they're finding some. He straightened. What kind of patterns? Denise clicked open a file. Officer Halston has had 8 civilian complaints in the last 5 years. Malik's pulse ticked upward. 8. All marked, unsubstantiated. Of course they are. She opened another tab. But now people are coming forward anonymously online. Stories about aggressive stops, intimidation, similar language. Malik rubbed his jaw. They won't go on record. Not yet, Denise said. But someone leaked internal documents, partial ones. There's a memo from 2 years ago warning supervisors that Halston exhibited escalatory behavior under stress. Malik let out a bitter laugh. That's the sanitized version of he's dangerous. Exactly. A knock at the door interrupted them. Malik's friend and fellow actor, Devin, poked his head in. You good to have visitors? Devin asked gently. Malik nodded. Devin stepped inside, closing the door. Man, the video is everywhere. I'm sorry you went through that. Malik managed a tired smile. Thanks. Devin took a seat. I know you don't want to hear this, but people are calling you a hero. Malik scoffed. For what? Surviving something I shouldn't have experienced at all. That's not the point, Devin said. You're forcing a conversation. I'm not forcing anything, Malik replied. People are reacting because they're shocked. 'Cause it was me. If I were just some guy. You are some guy, Devin said softly. That's the whole point. Malik fell silent. Denise glanced between them. There's something else. Malik braced himself. What? She opened another tab. This morning, a blog released an anonymous audio clip. They claim it's Halston, 3 years old. He's at some off-duty gathering making racial comments. Malik's jaw tightened. Is it real? We don't know yet, Denise said. But it's gaining traction. And if it is him, it's damning. Devin leaned back, eyes widening. This is getting messy fast. It was already messy, Malik murmured. Denise added. It's going to get messy, eh? Across town, in the Ridgeview police locker room, Halston slammed his locker door hard enough to rattle the bench. Reyes flinched. Brent! Don't, Halston snapped. His eyes were wild, his breath coming too fast. Don't even speak to me. Reyes held up his hands. I'm just trying to. You were there, Halston growled. You saw the situation the same as I did. Now everyone's acting like I'm the villain. Reyes swallowed. Look man, the video. What about it? Halston cut in. It doesn't show the full picture. He was acting nervous. He was evasive. He wasn't, Reyes said softly. You know he wasn't. Halston froze. What did you say? Reyes exhaled shakily. He didn't do anything. We both know it. Halston stepped closer, voice dropping to a dangerous growl. You're choosing the celebrity over your partner? I'm choosing the truth, Reyes said. And my conscience. Halston glared at him like he was something rotten. You better watch yourself. The department protects its own. If you turn against me, you turn against everyone. Reyes shook his head. Maybe that's the problem. Halston slammed his fist against the metal lockers. This is not my fault. He's blowing this out of proportion. He's using his fame to ruin me. Reyes said nothing. Halston spat a bitter laugh. And now they're dragging up old crap. Audio clips, complaints, none of it proven. They're trying to bury me. Reyes looked away. Maybe they're finally paying attention. Halston stared at him, betrayal sharp and cold. You're dead to me, Halston whispered. Back in Denise's office, Malik paced the room as she took a call. Yes, she said into the phone. We understand. He'll consider it. She ended the call. Who was that? Malik asked. The department, she said. They want you to refrain from public comments until their investigation concludes. Malik raised an eyebrow. Meaning, be quiet. Exactly. They want me silent so they can control the story. Yes. He paced to the window. What did the chief say after my meeting? He's trying to keep things calm, she replied. But the department's worried. Traffic stops are being reviewed. The mayor's office is getting flooded. Malik sighed. I'm tired, Denise. I know. He looked at the floor, voice low. I'm tired of being a symbol, a headline, target, a warning. Denise approached slowly. Then be something else. Tell the truth. On your terms. People will twist it. They'll twist it anyway, she said. But if you speak, at least they're twisting your words, not theirs. He felt the weight of that. Heavy. Real. Devon stood. Whatever you choose, we're with you. Malik's throat tightened. Thanks. Denise checked her phone. Interviews are pouring in. The biggest platforms want you. But we don't respond yet. Not until we know the full landscape. Malik nodded. Then what am I supposed to do? He asked. Rest for now, Denise said. Because it's about to get louder. As she went back to her computer, Malik sank into a chair, staring at a spot on the wall. He didn't want to be part of a war. But the war had already found him. And somewhere out there, Holston was cracking, splintering under pressure, resentment funneling into something unpredictable. The storm wasn't coming. It had already started. The protest began as a ripple. 30 people outside City Hall holding signs and phones. By noon, it was a wave crashing through the plaza. Drums echoed from the steps, handmade posters lifted against the sky. Justice for Malik, end racial profiling, accountability now. Malik watched from the edge of the crowd, hoodie up, mask covering half his face. He wasn't here as a symbol. He was here as a man trying to understand how his life had become a rallying cry overnight. Chants erupted in waves. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. A young woman with a bullhorn shouted. They almost killed him. We all saw it. And they want us quiet. The crowd roared back. Malik felt the vibration in his chest. Fear mixed with awe. He leaned against a light pole, absorbing the sights. People of every age, every background, standing together. Beside him, Denise whispered. You sure you want to be here? Yes, Malik said. I need to see it. Not through a screen here. You'll be recognized. Maybe, he said. But not now. The bullhorn crackled again. We demand Officer Holston's immediate suspension. We demand transparency. We demand accountability. People clapped, shouted, stomped. Malik flinched as a camera flashed nearby. Someone turned toward him. Teenage boy squinted, eyes widening. Yo, are you? Malik raised a hand gently. Not today, man. Please. The boy nodded quickly. Yeah, respect. I'm glad you're okay. Malik managed a small smile. Thanks. Denise nudged him. We should move before more people notice. Malik followed her through the crowd, weaving between bodies, signs, raised fists. A woman caught his arm. Older, eyes full of fire. Your video woke up this whole city, she said. Malik swallowed. I didn't want to wake anyone. She squeezed his hand. Sometimes the world needs waking. Across town, in a cramped conference room filled with reporters and half-broken microphones, the police union spokesperson stood at a podium. Officer Holston is being unfairly targeted by media hysteria, she declared. We ask the public to withhold judgment. Mr. Ward's celebrity is influencing the narrative. Journalists shot their hands up. Is Holston being placed on leave? No comment. Is the department reviewing his prior complaints? No comment. Does Holston dispute the footage? Our position is that the video lacks full context. One reporter pressed harder. What context justifies nearly drawing a weapon on an unarmed man who was cooperating? The spokesperson stiffened. Again, no comment. Back at the protest, a megaphone changed hands and a new speaker emerged. A man in a wheelchair, wearing a faded varsity jacket, spoke into the crackling device. I was pulled over by that same cop last year, he said. Told me my car didn't match my face. Filed a complaint. They said I was exaggerating. Murmurs of anger rippled through the crowd. Another woman shouted. This is a pattern. Malik stood frozen. Denise watched him carefully. You're hearing what you feared, she murmured. He nodded, jaw tight. I'm hearing what the department pretended didn't exist. A chant rose up. No more silence. No more silence. The crowd swelled around them. The air pulsed with grief, rage, unity. Denise leaned close. We should go now. before this grows. Malik hesitated, then turned away from the center of the storm. As they walked, a reporter spotted them. Malik, Mr. Ward, can we get a statement? Malik stopped. Denise tensed. The reporter shoved a mic forward. Mr. Ward, how do you respond to the union accusing you of influencing the narrative? Malik inhaled slowly. Denise whispered, You don't have to. He raised a hand. I'll speak. The reporter steadied the mic. Malik said, I didn't influence any narrative. The officer's actions did. The video shows exactly what happened. Another reporter rushed over. Do you want Holston fired? Malik paused. I want accountability. Not just for me. For anyone who's been treated like I was last night. A third reporter asked, Are you planning to sue the department? Denise stepped in. No further questions. Not today. They left quickly, weaving through the press until they reached her car. As soon as they were inside, Denise exhaled hard. You handled that well. I just told the truth. Sometimes the truth is dynamite, she said. And you just lit the fuse. That evening, Malik sat alone in his living room, watching muted news coverage of the protest. Drone footage showed the entire plaza filled. Thousands now. His phone buzzed, another unknown number. He ignored it. Then Denise called. Turn on channel 7 with sound, she said. He did. Panel discussion was underway. A woman spoke passionately. What happened to Malik Ward is not an isolated encounter. It is part of a systemic issue. The department wants to minimize what happened, but that video is clear. We must demand policy reform, independent oversight, and transparency. The host replied. And Malik himself spoke today, powerfully. Malik blinked. Powerfully. You were calm, honest, direct, Denise said. It connected. He sighed. I didn't want to become a cause. Too late, she said softly. Before he could reply, she added. Also, your studio released a statement. Malik's stomach tightened. What did they say? They're reviewing your upcoming project due to potential controversy. They say it's temporary. He closed his eyes. Of course. Malik, this isn't your fault. It's always someone's fault, he whispered. And right now it's mine. No, Denise said. It's his. And the system that protected him. Malik didn't answer. The city outside hummed with unrest. Inside, he felt strangely hollow, like everyone had found a purpose in this moment except him. He wasn't a hero. He wasn't a leader. He was a man who almost died. And tomorrow, the firestorm would only grow larger. Officer Brent Holston stared at his bathroom mirror, breath fogging the glass. His uniform hung on the doorknob, untouched. He hadn't shaved, hadn't slept. His eyes were red, wild. His phone buzzed again, union rep calling. He ignored it. From the living room, the television blasted a panel discussion. Newly surfaced accounts paint Holston as a repeat offender. Internal concerns as early as 3 years ago. The department's lack of oversight. Holston kicked the remote off the table. They're lying, he muttered. They're all lying. Another vibration. Text message. From. Union rep, stop ignoring my calls. We need to coordinate your statement. Holston hurled the phone onto the couch. He felt hunted, cornered, betrayed by everyone. Reyes, the department, the media. And most of all him. Malik Ward. The man who, in Holston's mind, had turned a simple stop into national humiliation. He's ruining my life, Holston whispered. Then louder. He's ruining my life. He punched the wall. Pain shot up his arm, but he didn't stop. Meanwhile, Malik sat in a dark room lit only by the glow of his laptop screen. The cursor blinked on an empty document labeled Statement Draft. He hadn't typed a single word. Exhaustion draped over him like wet cloth. His eyes were swollen from lack of sleep. Every time he shut them, He saw Holston's hand drifting toward the gun. Flesh, flesh, flesh. The moment looped endlessly. There was a knock at his door. Malik. Denise's voice. It's me. He opened the door. She stepped inside with 2 paper cups. Chamomile. Drink it. He took one mechanically. I'm not really thirsty. It helps you sleep. Sleep isn't happening, he said. She set her cup down and studied him. You look hollow. I feel hollow. She sat beside him on the couch. Talk to me. He shook his head. Talking just makes it more real. It is real, she said softly. Ignoring it won't change that. He stared at the blank document again. I don't know how to put everything into words. You start one sentence at a time. No, he said. You don't understand. If I speak, I'll have to relive it. Every second. Every thought I forced myself to swallow. She placed a hand on his forearm. I do understand. He swallowed hard. I'm scared, Denise. She didn't flinch. You're allowed to be. He rubbed his face. I'm scared of him. Of the system behind him. Of losing everything I've worked for. Of letting people down. Of becoming someone's rallying cry instead of just a man, she finished. Malik nodded. Across the precinct, Officer Reyes sat alone in his cruiser during break, staring at the same video for the 100th time. Holston's hand hovering. Malik's stillness. The tension crackling through the air. Reyes whispered, I should have stopped him. His radio crackled with chatter. Officers talking about news coverage, union instructions, public outrage. Reyes shut it off. He thought of the memo he'd seen years ago. The warning signs. The complaints. The ignored voices. And for the first time in a long time, he admitted a truth he'd been avoiding. He'd stayed silent because it was easier. His phone buzzed. From Internal Affairs, we need to schedule your follow-up interview. Please respond ASAP. Reyes closed his eyes. He knew what that meant. They needed clarity. They needed honesty. They needed him to confirm what they already suspected. He exhaled, trembling. This is going to destroy my career, he whispered. But then he pictured Malik's expression that night. Fear mixed with dignity, swallowed pain, forced composure. And he thought, some things matter more. He typed back, I'll come in tomorrow. I'll tell the truth. Meanwhile, Malik attempted to rest. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Shadows stretched across the room like reaching hands. Every sound made him flinch. Car door outside. A dog barking. Footsteps in the hallway. His heart spiked each time. He whispered to himself, It's okay. You're safe. It's okay. He didn't believe it. Around 2 a.m., he got up and paced the living room. He tried reading, then music, then silence. Nothing eased the tightness in his chest. When dawn finally crept through the blinds, he felt more drained than the day before. His phone buzzed. From Studio Executive, due to ongoing public attention, we're postponing production on Iron Kingdom indefinitely. We support you and hope to revisit soon. Malik stared at the screen until it blurred. His stomach twisted. He whispered, I knew it. He dialed Denise. She answered instantly. What's wrong? They postponed the film. She cursed under her breath. Malik, I'm so sorry. It's happening, he said numbly. Just like I feared. They'll come back once this settles. No, he said. This won't settle. Not soon. Not for them. Denise hesitated. Do you still want to release a statement? Malik looked around his apartment. Quiet, dim, suffocating. He felt like he was trapped in the aftershock of an earthquake no one else could feel. Yes, he said quietly. Because staying silent is killing me. Then we'll finish the draft together. Later, he said. There's something else I need to do first. What? He didn't answer. He just grabbed his jacket and headed to the door. Malik. Denise pressed. Where are you going? He paused, hand on the doorknob. To breathe, he said. He stepped into the morning air. cold, sharp, honest, and walked into it without knowing exactly where he was going. Across town, Halston sat alone in his dark living room, replaying the video for the 100th time. Each replay twisted him tighter. Each analysis on TV stoked his rage. Each headline made him feel smaller, cornered. He muttered, "I won't let him take everything from me." His phone rang again. This time he answered. "What?" he snapped. The union rep's voice was firm. "Brent, listen carefully. Internal Affairs is reopening all your complaints. They're taking this seriously. Reyes has scheduled another interview." Halston froze. "What do you mean scheduled?" "He's going back in." Halston felt the world tilt. "No," he whispered. "No. He wouldn't betray me." The rep hesitated. "Brent, he might." Halston's breathing grew ragged. The edges of his world trembled. And something in him snapped. Officer Reyes sat outside the Internal Affairs office, hands clasped, foot tapping uncontrollably. The hallway hummed with fluorescent lights and hushed conversations. Every officer who passed gave him a wary glance, as if he were contagious. The door opened. Captain Ellis stepped out. "Officer Reyes, we're ready for you." Reyes stood throat tight. "Yes, ma'am." Inside the room sat Chief Langford, 2 IA investigators, and a recorder blinking red. "Please have a seat," Ellis said. Reyes sat. The chair felt colder than it should. Langford began. "Officer Reyes, before we proceed, is there anything you wish to say off the record?" Reyes shook his head. "No. I'm ready." Ellis nodded. "Then let's start with the night of the stop involving Mr. Malik Ward. Tell us what happened." Reyes exhaled. "It started like any other patrol, until Halston saw the SUV." "What did he say at that moment?" Ellis pressed. "He said the driver looked wrong for the neighborhood." Reyes swallowed. "I didn't challenge it." Langford's jaw tightened. Ellis asked, "Did Mr. Ward comply?" "Yes. Completely." Reyes looked down. He was calm, cooperative. Halston escalated everything. "And the weapon?" Ellis's voice sharpened. "Did Halston intend to draw it?" Reyes hesitated, stomach twisting. Langford leaned forward. "Officer, answer truthfully." Reyes whispered. "Yes, he did." Silence thickened the room. Ellis spoke softly. "Thank you. Continue." Reyes described every detail. The tone of Halston's commands, the tension, the moment Malik froze, the fear he saw in the man's eyes. When he finished, Ellis shut off the recorder. "That will be all," she said. "Please wait outside." Reyes stood, legs shaking. Langford stopped him at the door. "Reyes." "Yes, Chief." Langford's voice lowered. "You did the right thing." Reyes didn't know whether to feel relieved or terrified. Meanwhile, Malik sat in a small waiting room outside the administrative hearing chamber. He tugged at the sleeves of his jacket, pulse hammering. Denise leaned beside him. "You're sure you want to do this?" "No," Malik said. "But I need to." "This isn't court," she reminded him. "They'll ask questions designed to unsettle you." "I survived the night he nearly shot me," Malik said. "I can survive their questions." Before Denise could respond, the door opened. "Mr. Ward, we're ready for you." Malik followed her inside. The chamber was smaller than he imagined. No dramatic judge's bench, just tables, microphones, and a panel of 3 officials. Halston sat across the room with his union rep and attorney. Halston didn't look like the officer from that night. His eyes were sunken. His uniform wrinkled. Rage simmered beneath the surface like a boiler ready to burst. Malik took his seat. The lead panelist cleared her throat. "This hearing concerns the conduct of Officer Brent Halston during the stop on Willow Grove Road. Mr. Ward, thank you for coming. We will begin shortly." Halston scoffed. "Of course you'll thank him." His lawyer whispered urgently. "Brent, stop." Halston ignored him. "This whole thing is a circus." Malik kept his focus forward. The panelist continued. Officer Halston, you will have the opportunity to respond. But first, we will hear from Mr. Ward. Halston leaned back, arms crossed, jaw flexing. Malik inhaled and began. That night, I was driving home from a charity event. I missed a turn. I wasn't speeding. I didn't break any laws. He pulled me over anyway. The panel listened. He demanded I raise my hands higher even though they were already visible. He called me suspicious without reason. He asked why I was in that neighborhood even after I told him. Halston muttered, "Because you didn't belong." His attorney elbowed him sharply. "Stop talking." Malik continued. What scared me most wasn't the shouting. It was when he touched his gun. He didn't need words. His intention was clear. Halston slammed his hand on the table. "I never drew my weapon." "You intended to," Malik said quietly. "Liar!" Halston shouted. The room erupted in murmurs. The panelist banged a gavel. "Officer Halston, you are out of line." Halston's attorney hissed. "You're sinking us." But Halston wasn't listening. His voice crackled with bitter fury. "He's making this into something it wasn't. He's twisting it all because he's famous." Malik stared at him, steady, tired, unwavering. "I didn't ask for fame." "Yeah," Halston snapped. "But you sure used it." Denise stood. "This is unacceptable." The panelist raised her hand. "Officer Halston, sit down. One more outburst and we will remove you." Halston sat, breathing heavily, fists clenched. The panel turned to Malik. "Thank you. You may answer our remaining questions." Malik did, calm, concise, everything he remembered. Then it was Halston's turn. He leaned into the microphone, voice raw. "I believed he was a threat. I believed he was lying. I believed." "You believed based on what?" A panel member interrupted. Halston paused, confused. "What? What specific behavior indicated threat?" Halston's mouth opened, closed. "What evidence suggested a crime?" Silence. "What statute justified escalation?" Halston stuttered. It was instinct, training, experience." "One more question," the panelist said. "Would you have treated a white man in the same suit, same car, same situation the same way?" Halston froze. Everyone waited. Reyes, watching from the back, held his breath. Halston's voice cracked. I don't know." The panelist nodded grimly. "That's what we needed to hear." Halston's attorney slumped. After a short recess, the panel returned with its decision. "Officer Brent Halston," the lead panelist said, "effective immediately, you are suspended without pay pending termination and referral for criminal review." Halston's face crumbled, rage, disbelief, collapse all battling in his eyes. He whispered, "You can't do this." But they already had. Malik felt no triumph, just exhaustion. Outside, Denise squeezed his shoulder. "It's over." "No," Malik said. "It's not. It's just something else now." Reyes approached hesitantly. "Mr. Ward." Malik turned. Reyes said quietly, "I'm sorry. For everything." Malik studied him, then nodded once. "Thank you for telling the truth." Reyes nodded back, guilt and relief mixing in his eyes. As Malik walked into the afternoon sunlight, he felt the weight of what had happened settle over him. There was justice, but there was also cost, and both would stay with him for a long time. For the first time in weeks, Malik's phone was muted, face down on the nightstand. No alerts, no interviews, no statements waiting to be reviewed. Just silence. He sat on the back porch of his childhood home, a soft summer breeze brushing against his skin. The garden smelled like cut grass and jasmine. Normal things, gentle things, the kinds of things he'd forgotten could exist without cameras watching. His mother stepped outside carrying 2 mugs of tea. "Chamomile," she said, handing him one. "You look like you need it." Malik smiled faintly. "I probably do." She sat beside him, tucking her sweater around her. You've lost weight. Stress diet, Malik said. She gave him a look. Not funny. Wasn't trying to be. She rested a hand on his arm. I'm glad you're here. You disappeared on me. He stared into the yard. I disappeared on myself. They sat quietly for a moment. Crickets chirped in the grass. A dog barked faintly down the street. His mother finally said, "The hearing. I watched it." He nodded. What Halston said, what he almost did, she swallowed hard. I could have lost you. Malik looked away, jaw tight. I know. No, baby, she said softly. You don't. You keep being strong for everyone. Even for me. But you don't have to pretend here. His chest tightened. I'm not pretending. You are. You're holding your breath. He blinked slowly, realizing she was right. He had been holding it, in one form or another, since the moment Halston's siren chirped behind him. He whispered, I thought I was going to die. She put her arms around him. He leaned into her shoulder, letting himself sink into the comfort. You didn't, she murmured. You're here. You're safe. You're mine. He exhaled shakily, tension loosening. After a long moment she pulled away and said, People are proud of you. You handled everything with grace. I didn't feel graceful. You don't have to feel it to be it. He smiled faintly. Maybe. She sipped her tea. So what now? I don't know. Malik looked toward the sunset bleeding orange across the sky. The world already moved on. There's a new headline today. Tomorrow there'll be another. And you? She asked. He shrugged. I'm still stuck. She nodded gently. It takes time to come back to yourself after trauma. He stared at his hands. Feels like I'm supposed to be grateful I survived. You are allowed to be angry, she said. And tired. And sad. You are allowed every emotion they don't want to see. He inhaled, slow and unsteady. I'm all of them. She squeezed his hand. Then feel them. Here. Later that evening, Malik went through old boxes in the attic. Childhood drawings. School awards. A half-broken action figure missing its arm. He held it, remembering the day he'd cried because he thought broken things had no value. His mother had glued the arm back on, even though it kept falling off. You fix things by trying, she told him. Not by throwing them away. He placed the toy aside gently. At the bottom of the box was an envelope addressed to him, in a child's handwriting. He frowned and opened it. Inside was a letter. Dear Malik, I saw your video and I was scared for you. But then I saw you talk on TV and you were brave. I want to be brave too. I'm black like you and my dad says sometimes the world is mean to us for no reason. But watching you made me feel strong. Thank you. From Jaden, age 11. Malik's breath caught. He read it again. And again. His chest tightened. Not in fear this time, but in something warmer, deeper. He whispered, Jaden, thank you. He folded the letter carefully and held it to his chest. For the first time in weeks, something lit inside him. Quiet but real. Spark. Not purpose, not clarity, but the first fragile piece of meaning. Later, as he stood on the porch again, the stars faint above the suburban glow, he spoke softly to the night. I don't know what comes next. But I'll figure it out. The wind brushed against him, gentle as a hand across his shoulder. He wasn't healed. He wasn't whole. But he wasn't broken beyond repair. Somewhere between the fear and the aftermath, between the noise and the quiet, there was a path forward. And he was finally ready to start walking. The film set buzzed with pre-dawn energy. Quiet, controlled, intentional. Crew members moved like shadows under soft amber lights, adjusting rigs and checking monitors. A wind machine hummed in the background, stirring dust across the warehouse floor. Malik stepped inside, breathing in the familiar scent of sawdust, coffee, and fresh paint on half-finished props. For months, he'd avoided anything that resembled a spotlight. But now, stepping onto this new project, Through the Glass, an indie drama about a wrongfully arrested teacher, felt strangely right. Not glamorous, not flashy, but necessary. The director, Ava Salazar, approached with a warm, steady smile. You made it. Yeah, Malik said softly. I'm here. You sure you're ready? No, he admitted. But I'm willing. She nodded, understanding carrying through her expression. That's enough. A production assistant called for everyone to gather. Ava gestured toward the center of the set. Walk with me. They crossed a space filled with simple set pieces. An apartment interior, a small police interrogation room, a school classroom. Real places. Real stories. Ava said. I've wanted to make this film for years. But the studio wasn't interested until now. Malik understood. People listen differently after a fire. Exactly, Ava said. And I don't want to exploit what happened to you. You're here because you bring truth to the role. Truth, he echoed. Yeah. I know a bit about that lately. They stopped in front of the first scene setup. Ava turned to him. This story isn't about revenge. It's about humanity. The cost of being seen as less than human. And the path back. Malik inhaled deeply. That's why I took the role. Good. She squeezed his shoulder. Let's make something real. Later, Malik sat in his trailer reviewing the script. Lines highlighted in yellow. Notes scribbled in the margins. He practiced one line under his breath. I'm not angry because of what happened. I'm angry because it keeps happening. His own voice echoed back at him. Soft, steady, but carrying tremors of lived truth. A knock sounded on the door. Come in. Denise entered, holding a stack of mail. Morning, movie star. He smirked. Please don't. She sat on the couch beside him. You look more grounded today. Maybe I am, he said. Or maybe I'm just better at pretending again. As long as the pretending doesn't replace the healing. He gave her a grateful look. She handed him the mail. I already filtered out the hate stuff. What's left is, mostly kind. He thumbed through letters. Fan notes, supportive messages, drawings from kids. Then paused at one envelope labeled simply, Reyes. He opened it. Inside was a short handwritten note. Mr. Ward, I don't expect forgiveness. But I needed you to know that telling the truth cost me my job, my friends, my safety net. And I'd do it again. I hope one day what I said helps someone else survive. R. Reyes. Malik read it twice. Denise asked gently, How do you feel? I don't know, he said quietly. Sad. Grateful. Angry. Something else. That's human, she said. He set the note aside carefully. What's happening with Holston? Denise sighed. He's officially terminated. And the DA is reviewing charges. Malik absorbed that slowly. Do I feel vindicated? Do you? She asked. He thought for a moment. No, he said. Just tired. That makes sense. And him? Malik pressed. What do you think he feels? Denise looked out the window. Fear. Rage. Maybe regret. Maybe not. Malik nodded. Whatever he feels, it's not my burden. No, she said. It isn't. Filming began mid-morning. Malik stepped under the warm set lights, facing the camera for the first time in months. The cinematographer adjusted a reflector, bathing his face in soft gold. You look good, Ava said. Strong. I feel something, Malik murmured. Action, the first AD called. Malik entered the scene. A simple conversation between the protagonist and his sister. Lines flowed naturally. Emotion conjured not from acting technique but from the scars Malik carried beneath the surface. As he delivered the final line, silence filled the set. Ava whispered, Cut. The crew exhaled collectively. That, she said softly, was honest. Malik nodded, chest tight but steady. During lunch break, he sat outside on a small folding chair, watching sunlight spill across the asphalt. He heard footsteps. A young production intern approached timidly. Mr. Ward. Yes. I just wanted to say, your story meant something to me. My brother went through something similar last year. Seeing you speak, seeing you keep going, it helped him. Malik swallowed. How's he doing now? Getting better, the intern said. And you're part of why. Malik didn't know what to say. He simply murmured, thank you. The intern left. Malik leaned back, feeling sunlight warm his face. He let it soak into him. The warmth, the quiet, the fragile sense of purpose forming again. He wasn't healed. He wasn't fixed. But he wasn't drowning anymore. He whispered to himself, I can do this. And in that moment, it wasn't a performance. It was the truth. As filming wrapped for the day, Ava walked over. Before you go, she said, I want you to see something. She handed him a still frame from the day's shoot. Malik, standing under a beam of light, expression raw and resolute. It's the story we're telling, Ava said. Not about a badge. Not about a headline. About the resilience of a human being. Malik studied the image. He saw the pain, the survival, quiet strength, maybe even a future. He nodded slowly. Yeah, he whispered. That's me. Outside, dusk settled softly over the lot. And Malik Ward stepped into it. Not unscarred, not unshaken, but undeniably moving forward.